Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Konaja here. Welcome back to the Mindcrack server. We are over here in Packrat's mansion as we are ready to begin the rebuilding of the mineshaft chunk. That is the project I decided to do to take part in Packrat's mansion build, and we have been given a room. I luckily ended up being able to meet up with Pack on stream on Monday last week, I suppose. Well, not Monday last week, Monday 2 weeks ago? Sure. And decided that this right here is our space. This is the space we've been given. It is, if I remember correctly, it is a little bit smaller than the chunk we ended up digging up, but we are going to use all of the available space inside of the outside block. Does that make any sense? We're going to use every available space besides the air around it so that you can actually get in and get around the chunk and see it, basically. Like, I want it to be visible. So today we're going to start to rebuild the chunk one layer at a time. These chests up here contain the blocks per layer. There is so much, so very much to talk about. A lot has happened since the last time I recorded, and a lot of that is tied to Mindcrack, because we had our spring Mindcrack marathon here recently. That would have been last weekend, and I decided to travel up to Good's place in North Carolina and help him out with the marathon slash help him out with some other stream stuff he's been doing, and somewhat just to kind of hang out a little bit, because I think I mentioned this. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I mentioned I brought this up at some point recently. Been working, quote unquote, a lot with Good recently. We've been doing more and more stuff together. We do, well, mainly PUBG, but more than anything, I think I talk to Good more than anyone else in Minecraft at the moment. So, I don't know, it just felt like it would be a fun thing to do. Beyond that, there was also some business that needed tending. Basically, Good has a bunch of like properties there. One that he had purchased years ago that included a office space that he had planned on using for the Minecraft marathon and converting it into that kind of setup. Hold on, I'm gonna turn game sounds down a little bit. That's video options, Cone. Let's go to a good 30. There we go. There, that's a little less oppressive. So yeah, he had purchased this office, and the office included with the sale a house that was nearby. The house is known as the Hoarder House because it was a hoarder house. And if you don't know that verbiage, a hoarder house is the house that somebody that collects way too much stuff lives in. Somebody that... Whoa! That was cool. We'll get to why that just happened a bit later. So, yeah, a hoarder being somebody that just can't throw anything away, doesn't throw anything away, can't stop collecting stuff. Just an endless supply of things. And it gets to the point of which, in this case, the person can't even live in the house anymore. It becomes an unusable space. And yeah, that was part of the deal. And they've been just sitting vacant, unused for some time now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counting with Cone. Hold on, I gotta count over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 dirt and then stone. I think I'm going to... yeah, I think I'm going to make this the top row. So I'm going to chop one off from the bottom here. I don't know why I thought this room was 10, but it's actually 11. Okay. So I need some stone and some andesite. So it is stone, andesite, 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 and then stone all the way over to one to the end, and then coal. And then I need coal from here. Alright, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 coal. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Nice. Alright, the rest is stone. And that lets me get back to talking. That gets me back to discussing things. And what we're discussing, the hoarder house situation is an interesting one. And in talking, it was kind of brought up that I'm not a general contractor. I am not a home builder. I do not consider myself to be a professional in those regards. But I did work in the home improvement industry for 10 years as far as the retail side goes, and I am the son of basically a home builder. I very much so grew up in the construction kind of world. So in talking, it was just kind of discussed between the two of us, you know, if there was something we could do collaboratively there. Obviously, like I've been talking about, my home situation, my housing situation isn't good. It's not great. It's not awful, but it's very what I would call insecure. So anything I could do that would give me a little bit of a reprieve from having to worry about that stuff would be very welcome. I would really appreciate that opportunity. Let me go see if I can find... Oh, I have bones on me. Cool. So I can grow these up, because that's what they're supposed to be. And yeah, he's wanted me to just move up there. He's wanted me to just, you know, rent basically that house and live there. For me personally, that's not something that's really on my mind. Why am I going that way? I don't know. I guess I wasn't ready to start the next layer, so I was just gonna run away. But yeah, I'm not in a situation where I am ready to leave the area that I live. There's all of my family here. We're not that big of a family to begin with. And yeah, I just don't at this juncture want to leave the area, which is weird because I really don't like where I live. It's a weird mix. I feel generally pretty uncomfortable here. Like I've never felt like I really fit in the area well, and yeah, I don't really like the climate. I don't like how hot it is and humid it always is. And yeah, there's a bunch of factors there. It's just not necessarily my favorite place in the world. But it's also the only place I've known since the age of 5. So a lot of that could just be, I don't know, how do I say, not, let's see, this goes down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, air, and then stone over 3, and then stone beyond that. Okay, we got those. Yeah, you know, I never felt like I got to make my own roots somewhere else, and we talked about that kind of recently on, you know, the making roots topic, and, you know, does it, you know, really matter that you do or don't leave home, leave your hometown, that kind of stuff. And I don't know that we really came to a decision there, but it's something that I've always considered. It's one of those things that I'm always like, I wonder what it would be like to live somewhere else. And interestingly, North Carolina is a place I've always earmarked as, actually this is wrong, I've always earmarked as a place I would be interested in. So all of these things made for an enticing situation, like something I was generally interested in. But I was trying not to lead anybody on there. I didn't wanna like commit to anything. I didn't want to go, way off the deep end into anything because I needed to know the situation. I needed to know how everything was gonna would work there. And before even leaving, I came to the conclusion that I won't leave this area till I live a stable enough life that I can come back whenever I feel like it. I'm not in a position right now where if I were to leave, I could just, jump in the car and come back, or jump in a plane and head back whenever I want. I feel like I would get quite homesick, or just overall, I think I would feel, I don't know, stuck somewhere, unable to return to where I basically, whoa, 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 oh. Xerxes just hit the mouse that is on the other part of the desk. Oh, that freaked me out. Okay, alright. Minor heart attack there. We started, alright. Oh, Xerxes. Xerxes, please. Oh, no. Okay, alright. We started on 20. We went to 21. This is the third at 22. Yeah, we should have more coal in there. It's possible they got mixed up. Because it seemed like we had too much in this one anyway. Well, it doesn't matter. We're not putting the blocks back exactly where... Well, we're putting the blocks back where they were, but not every individual block, if you will. Alright, so the stone goes 3 below the air blocks. And then 2 and stone all the way up. On this one, 3. Alright, easy as that. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm in a situation where I could do that at the moment. So I've pretty much come to the conclusion that I'm here for, the time being, which is fine. This is where my friends are. This is where a lot of my, car stuff is, for one. Like, trying to move all of my tools and just the cars themselves and the supplies and the parts and everything would be a nightmare. So sticking around here, certainly it makes logical sense. It certainly would be very illogical to get up and move at this juncture. This is where I've always done the autocross stuff, and I so desperately want to get back into that. Not to say I couldn't do it elsewhere. It's just that it doesn't seem like a good idea to change over at the moment. I did that wrong. That's right. Yep. You're supposed to be stone. You're supposed to be diorite. Got it. So with all that in mind, let's ignore all of the reasons why I don't necessarily wanna uproot right now. The other factors involve the actual, situation that I was examining, and that was a temporary reprieve, because the two things that really stress me out right now are housing, having some kind of permanent housing, and maintaining the making of video, the making of content. I so desperately want to keep doing what I'm doing here, and I wanna be building on this. I wanna be doing more and have the freedom to try things. I want to have the freedom to keep pushing on. Oh, and I didn't really explain, but I do have a spreadsheet that I'm following layer per layer. If you didn't see the deconstruction of this, I'm basically building this back up from the ground up, layer by layer, because I spreadsheet and noted where every single block was. Okay, so yeah, why go there at all? Why even, you know, let that be a possibility, I suppose. And the answer is, I thought maybe I could be useful for good, basically. I thought maybe I could make use of the skills that I have, while also, this is not right. Spooky sounds agree. This one is stone, but it's only supposed to be 2 stone. Do I have 3 diorite? I do. Oof. Oh no, it's 4 diorite. Boy howdy, I've messed this layer up immensely. It goes like this. Okay. And then coal here. We got it. Everything's fine. I'm not worried. Yeah, so I was going to see if I could be useful, use my skills, because I do know a lot about home construction and repair and stuff like that. General, like, remodeling and stuff like that doesn't scare me at all. It's all things that are very much so in my wheelhouse. So I thought maybe I could spend a few months up there helping renovate that place. In the meantime, I could be living there, and in that time, I wouldn't be stressed about having a place to be and having a place to continue, you know, making my content. Oh, there's no fence, but there's rail. And it would just be cool. I would be, you know, hanging out there with Good. We get along really well. I did some stuff while I was there, helping with his, as they call it, 2 banana streams, and I enjoyed that. I love doing the production side of things. I love, you know, working behind the camera as much as I do being on camera. Actually, I probably like it more. So it seemed like a really neat opportunity. But upon arrival, I pretty much instantly realized that dream was a meme. It wasn't gonna happen, because the condition of the house was a lot worse than realized. It turns out that hoarders do a lot more damage to a house than you might imagine. I expected the rot and the stains and the grossness and the you know, just, I guess, just decay of the house, because when you fill a house with trash, it trashes the house. What I didn't expect was the damage that the amount of stuff that was in the house did to the house. Because it was a house built on piers, basically. It was a house built on... The most similar thing you could think of is like a mobile home structure, how they're on blocks. But this is not a mobile home. This is it's just an old house structure that was built on concrete poured piers. And partially because of that, you know, the reason it not being on a poured slab, it sagged the house significantly. There was so much weight of crap in the house that it literally made the house sink. And the damage that was done was so severe that in some of the rooms there's many inches of drop from wall to wall. Wow, what accent was that? Wall to wall. So that kind of stuff I unfortunately cannot fix. Good still really was into it, and, you know, because he really was excited about the idea, was trying to, like, hold on to it and wanted it to happen, but it wasn't a situation that I felt comfortable with at that point. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just fix the house as it was, and I couldn't fix the problem that kept it from being right. I can't fix the foundation of that house. Somebody, a contractor needs to come in there and fix that house structurally, and that's so far above and beyond the levels that I'm comfortable with. So pretty much with that, the dream there was gone. And that is once again a hard pill to swallow, because there's just been so many things that I'm like really close to having some kind of relief, some kind of I don't know, just something come along to relieve overall stress. And I was honestly kind of banking on this one. I really felt strongly about this. It felt like the right time and the right thing to do. So, another bust. Just another bust there. Very, very much so disappointing. 1, 2. What I had in mind, what I thought was going to happen was I'd be there for a few months, I'd help renovate, I would, be streaming the construction stuff, putting in new walls, putting in some new floors, updating the place. It was gonna be fun, it was gonna be different, and I'd still get to make my content. I would have my own place to make content. I knew it would take me away from the car stuff for a while, because there's no way to bring the car stuff with me, nor is there any space to do that there. But that would be fine. It would have been a nice temporary reprieve from kind of just the everyday grind. But it looks like, it certainly looks like not going to be the case there. So now, what's next? Now I have to try and figure out what else is out there for me as far as things to do go. And at the moment, I don't really know. I don't really know what's next for me. Other than just keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and hope that things improve to the point of, being able to make some kind of stable existence here. If nothing else, at least it forced me to do the thought exercise of, hey, where do you want to be, Cone? What are you doing with the future? Are you staying here? Are you moving away? Are you, really rooting here? I've rooted here in the past. That sounds like it sounds like a bad term, but I swear it's not. Like I've started to, really grow in the area and looking at stable things here, but I've moved away from that. Things have happened that I haven't been doing that stuff so much. I've not really been thinking that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 stone beneath that is as far as we can go. Okay, so then the dirt needs to go. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much just up now. I still, unless things got crazy good for me, I'm still sticking around here for the foreseeable future, basically. I don't see anything going on in the not too distant future to change that. All right, I need some ladders. I'm gonna go steal some more wood from Pack. Am I disappointed by that? I don't know. I don't really know, because like I said, I've always had this idea that I wanted to move away from this area, but it's just an idea. That's such a dream, and I think it's just one of those things that people go through in their young adulthood of I'm an adult now. I need to move. I need to go somewhere else. This place is boring to me now. And I think I'm almost kind of beyond that. Oh, ladder's right there. I feel like that's not even really a necessity to me anymore. But maybe if I was doing better, I would feel differently about that. But that was the most prominent thing to do with the trip. I've talked about the Mindcrack Marathon. I talked about it on stream quite a bit. I don't really feel like I'm going to go too deep into that stuff here. Did I just get turned around? Am I going the wrong way? I did. So move beyond that stuff. Move beyond the housing thing, and that little nugget of of thought exercise is in the past. What about the rest of the experience there? Because I do feel like I learned a thing or two about, I don't know, me. And maybe not learned, but just kind of realized. I really like the production side of the stuff. I enjoyed helping Good with his streams way more than I anticipated. Like, I knew I would enjoy helping Good. I really enjoy the fact that he trusts me to help with that stuff, and, you know, genuinely wants my input as far as things go there. That's really cool to me, and I'm happy for that. However, there was always a however. I just was really shocked at how much I liked helping with the setup of his streams. I was helping with him some tech stuff, trying to make his green screen and things work better, because he does things with like VR, and it requires a little bit more of a interesting and intricate technical setup. And then I helped him with his real life VR stream. You know, I was doing real life interaction with his stream. You know, little pranks, if you will, on him while he was in the VR stuff. And yeah, I really genuinely enjoyed that stuff. And that's one of the parts of the big Mindcrack marathon that I really enjoyed too. I've never felt like I was a very strong on-screen personality. I have my moments, and there's some parts of it that I do feel like, you know, I belong there enough. But it was pretty nice to kind of just feel like I was helping more than just my individual presence does. And that's definitely a role that carries over to the main marathon now too, where I feel confident in my ability to be helpful. How I expand that role in the future, I don't know. But I think that also ties into the car stuff and why I really enjoy like the garage streams and such, because those are a very technical setup. There's a lot that goes into those. It's a very high effort thing for me, and it makes me want to do more of that stuff in the future. The podcast is even kind of that way, which honestly the podcast is more of a vodcast because it's a video presentation. But yeah, it's a project that involves setup, and I'm doing a lot of kind of the legwork with that, not necessarily all of the all of the like pushing it to Apple and all of that stuff, but the actual like production of the show I'm kind of handling, and I'm very happy about it. I enjoy that stuff. I really honestly do enjoy that stuff, and gosh darn it. And I don't know, I hadn't really considered how much of what I do here is the enjoyment from that stuff, not just in, you know, being a personality or whatnot. Let's see. So we got 5 air next to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then next to that is more andesite. So from this one then, it would be 3 down, which is only 2. So this is all andesite over here. Got it. Alright, that layer is done after only a few falls. Okay, quite a few. So yeah, I don't know where to expand on that in the future, but it's certainly something I'm going to consider. It's an attribute of myself that I feel is a little bit like untapped potential, maybe. We'll see how that goes. I do believe, and I do hope, that the Ranwood Park show is kind of a catalyst for that. I hope that that is a catalyst of an expansion of what kind of real life automotive content I can create and projects like that I can be part of, because I really want it. I want to do more of that stuff, and if that can be the catalyst for being able to do that kind of stuff, that's going to be amazing, because uh, I personally really enjoy making that, and I know that Kurt, Cubes, ZK, they enjoy the idea of it a lot. I'm very confused right now because my spreadsheet does not match the last layer, so I'm currently frantically going back and forth to figure out which one's right. This one's wrong. This is the wrong one. So the andesite should start here. How much andesite do I have? 14. Okay. Yeah, the andesite should start here. That goes like this, I do believe. Yep, that looks right. That looks right. And then what's the next layer? Yeah. Otherwise, this thing would be offset 1. So yeah, I must have just written down this layer wrong. We don't know now. It's in the past at this point. we're stuck with what we got now. All right. That completes this layer. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call that for today. Those are the basic major topics of the comeback from the trip. There's a lot that's been going on, a lot of technical stuff, because I have just converted over to using a capture card instead of recording to the same computer. A lot of things going on at the moment, and trying to work in the new Ranwood Park show into the mix, and streaming a little bit differently now, especially that I have the capture card set up. I can do things differently there. A lot on my mind, but I think we'll reserve more of those topics for Mindcrack Monday on Twitch. That'll do it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.